Okay, so part 2 of a 4-part series for assignment PowerPoint. I'd like to next move to creating the 10 slides for the PowerPoint presentation that you're going to submit to the hospital education department. We've looked at what a transition and an animation is in a PowerPoint slide, and we understand what the assignment is now. So what we want to do is we want to go to PowerPoint. I'm going to open PowerPoint. I'm going to go to File and choose New, and I'm going to choose a blank presentation. In my blank presentation, I'm going to create 10 slides, and each of the slides is going to have a theme. So what I'd like to do is I'd like to pick my theme first, and I can pick any theme I like. Any of these will do. I'm going to just choose one. As I choose one, you'll see that this is the slide format that comes up. And in the slide format, you'll see there are variants. I can pick different colors to go on my slides from this particular family. Or I can open up the variants and choose even more colors to specifically match whatever hospital or facility I'm using. If there's a color theme, it just depends on the color format I want. Let's say I want this particular variant color to go on all of my slides. So here is my slide for the presentation that I'm going to use. Next, what I'd like to do is I'd like to add the title, and the title slide has to include the title of the assignment. This is a PowerPoint assignment. And then I'm going to go to my subtitle, and in my subtitle box I'm going to left click, and I'm going to add my name as the student, enter to go to the next line, my professor's name, enter. I'm also going to add the course title, CIS354, and after that I'm going to add the date. Okay, so there is my title slide. Now, next I would like to insert a slide. I'm going to go to Insert. I'm going to choose New Slide. And I have different options for how I add my slide. I just next want to go to a slide with content. And so in my slide with content, my first slide is going to be a definition of the chosen diagnosis. So I'm just going to call it definition. Here's where I'm going to click to add the definition of my chosen diagnosis. I'm going to add another slide. I go to New Slide, and I can duplicate the selected slide. I can go to my third slide, choose by triple clicking. I can choose this text in the text box. And the second slide is the basic explanation of signs and symptoms. So basic explanation of signs and symptoms goes here. Instead of definition, I'm going to call this signs and symptoms, like so. That's my third slide. Now what I'd like to do with the signs and symptoms, I have a signs, right? And then let's put one for symptoms. And then let's add one more bullet point. I'm going to the end of the line and I'm hitting enter to bring myself to the next bullet point. And when should you contact the doctor? When should you go to the emergency room? Okay, so these are the 4 things that should go on this slide. And let's just save this file, save as. We're going to select computer and desktop. Our desktop is our workspace. This is going to be called PowerPoint Assignment. I'm just going to give it my name for right now. Make sure it's on the desktop and choose Save. Alright, so I have the first 3 slides created. The number 3 on the assignment is a pasted graphical map to the nearest hospital. I want to go to New Slide, and I want to choose Title and Content. And this one is Nearest Hospital. And in the nearest hospital, I have options for this slide. I could insert a table, a chart, a smart art graphic, a picture, an online picture, or a video. If I choose online picture and I choose map, I can bring up a map to the nearest hospital. And I don't really want that, do I? I actually want to insert a picture of a picture I've taken. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to minimize this for a minute. I'm going to close this presentation, close this, minimize our class. I'm going to go to my browser and I'm going to go to google.com. And in google.com on the right hand side you'll see that there is this Google Apps. When I click on Google Apps, one of the options is Maps. I click on Maps, and then my nearest hospital is Reston Hospital. So in the search I'm just going to put Reston Hospital. And my Reston Hospital map will come up. And here is a map of Reston Hospital. I can control minus to change this zoom on my map. Change the zoom a little bit if I want. Okay. What I'm going to do for this particular map of my hospital, I'm going to do a screenshot. So Control Alt and Print Screen. The Print Screen button is on your keyboard above where the end is or where the page up is. It's usually the top right corner somewhere. So you hold Control Alt down and you tap Print Screen. When you do that, nothing happens. But when you open Paint, you can paste the screenshot into your Paint window, and then File, Save As. I want to save this as a JPG. And I want to call it Map of Hospital. And I'm going to put it on my desktop and save it. Go ahead and minimize this and go back to my PowerPoint presentation. Now I've got a picture that I can insert onto my slide. So in my desktop, I go to Map of Hospital and I insert. And here is the map to the nearest hospital.